What's up guys? Recently James and I celebrated our 4-year anniversary. We filmed a video in the desert. It was lovely. But a lot of you guys may not know that we've actually known each other for 11 years. We've known each other for 11 years, and this is where we spent basically the first 10 years of our life together. Not here on this parking garage, but in South Carolina. We're in South Carolina, guys. This city in particular is actually called Greenville, South Carolina. We lived here for a little over a year. Fun fact about the city, there's a gigantic waterfall in the middle of downtown. But first, I want to go down memory lane and just reminisce because I've been feeling very nostalgic. It's kind of weird being back in town because we're in a completely different place in life than when we were the day that we left this town. About 4 years into our relationship, we started making videos. The first vlogging camera that we had was EPN, what? Dang it. That camera was a micro 4/3 camera, which means it pushed in, it zoomed in ×2, which made it very, give an example of how close it was to our face. That's about how close it was to our face at any given time vlogging. It was miserable. They say the best camera is the one that you have on you, but it's not. Don't vlog that close to your face. Anyway, we started making videos. We actually captured getting Cooper, our dog, for the first time. He was just a little round puppy and just as annoying as he is now, but it's really nice to have those memories. And soon after that, we got married. We moved here to Greenville and we started our life. We found an apartment. It was very, very, very chaotic. A couple other notable events. October 2015, there was a massive storm that swept through the state, and it basically became like a garden hose, the way the low pressure and the high pressure became wind and stuff. It rained a lot, and we actually met Jim Cantori, great guy. He was surrounded by a bunch of cameramen. The waterfall was absolutely massive. I believe a couple people kayaked down it. Was it during that time, James?
I don't know if it was that one or another time, but it happened.
Yeah, people tend to kayak down waterfalls, which you'd think it would be illegal, but it's not. It's just a recreational thing.
I thought they were definitely gonna die.
I thought they were gonna die too, but they made it out.
So when we moved here, my love for street photography was blossoming like a lily in the night in a cold winter's eve. And this was an interesting place for me because it was the first urban environment that I moved to that I could live in, that I didn't have to leave after a couple of hours of living there. Most places I had been that were urban environments involved me going there for a day, trying to find parking. I didn't know anything about the city, so the parking was crazy. I also met my first street photographer friend here. His name is Will, and he tried to take a street portrait of me, which was interesting because I was taking street portraits of other people and I had never met anybody who wanted to take a street portrait of me before. It was special. Now the good thing about Will is that he still lives here, and we're going to hopefully be able to meet up with him later today, and I'm excited about that. I actually have to make an amendment to that statement. He was with another guy that actually took my portrait. He didn't take my portrait that day, but I ended up making friends with him, and we spent a lot of time working together making videos for my channel, and we still do to this day occasionally, but today we're going to meet in person and make a video for my channel, hopefully. So far, so good.
Okay, that's good because I'm nervous. I was just telling him that I'm nervous to see how people perceive me. Because you know that thought of you see yourself in the mirror, what if it's not really what other people see?
You're beautiful, so don't you worry.
I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Glad I did my hair.
Oh man. I love the hair. That's
really?
so cool. Yeah.
Here we go.
Hey.
Yay! I look like Will Smith, who just got finished doing a caricature, my first ever caricature. It's pretty sweet.
I used to work at Starbucks here. It was a very intense learning growing experience for me. One time, the car didn't defrost and I had to stop in the middle of the road because I couldn't see where I was going. Luckily, no pedestrians died. So I decided, since we were in town, I would go visit that Starbucks again today. And that was a pretty interesting experience. It was sort of emotional in a sense.
That's James.
I think both me and Christina are very grateful for the time we had here and how it was able to grow us and all the other experiences we've had. Our entire adulthood together has been just building grit and perseverance. Another thing that we still pay attention to today, we have to pay attention to today, is that things happen incrementally. It's like a tree growing. You don't always see the tree grow. You never see the tree growing unless you have light speed eyes. You never see the tree growing, but it is growing. And you have to keep participating in the steps, the baby steps, the watering, the nurturing. And before long, you will have a fully grown tree. But in the midst of it, it just feels like you're doing nothing every single day. That is exactly what it's supposed to feel like. And that means you're probably in the right ballpark. Or it could also mean that you're not doing steps towards your goal and you're actually not getting anything done.
One or the other.
One or the other. So, just have some self-awareness about that. It could go both ways.
Tomorrow.
Ride on the magic school bus!
Ride on the magic school bus!
This is Sparky. He drives like a normal car. Although he's called a smart car, there's really nothing smart about him that we found. But he is small, and people like to comment on it.
That is actually a pretty good car.
All right, stop. A little bit more. Okay. The thing that I like about taking trips like this every so often is because it puts things into perspective. My best buddy, Caitlin, she's actually in Starbucks right now, we're hanging out. She was asking me about my wedding ring. I got really cheap little wedding rings, they're really small. Here we go. It's not your typical wedding ring. They're 4 bands. I wish each band had some kind of significance to it, but honestly, they were just really inexpensive. James's ring is actually nicer than mine, in my opinion. But the reason that we got them is because they were so inexpensive. We didn't have the money to buy a big fancy diamond. We don't believe in putting things on credit card that we can't afford, so we just got what we could. And it's been, he used to be really embarrassed because they weren't like the nicest thing ever, but it puts things into perspective and it allows me to look back on where we've come. We are nowhere near where I would like to be, but it's nice to take these trips to remind ourselves that we're making progress.
And look at us now.
Sparky, baby.
It's not a helicopter, but it's
I wanted to make this video for a couple different reasons. There's a lot of new people around here since we lived in South Carolina, and I wanted you guys to maybe get to know us a little bit more, and also encourage you, if you are out there hustling, fam, just keep on grinding. Am I right?
If you're from a small town,
If you're from a small town, then what?
then you can succeed.
Sparky. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're new around here, leave a comment below. Let us know where you are. If you haven't yet subscribed, feel free to do that. But other than that, have a fantastic day, night, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Goodbye. We can fit Sparky in his truck bed.